70x equals 98. And that becomes x equals 98 over 70. So 98 divided by 70 is 1.4. Now this is not our final answer. We have to convert our decimal into a percentage by shifting the decimal place twice or 2 times to the right and placing a percentage sign next to it. So it becomes 1.40 1.4 becomes 140%. Yes, that becomes 140%. So this saying what percent of 70 is 98? So they're saying 98 compared to 70 is 140%. That's why it's greater. That's why our answer here is greater than 100%. So x equals 140%. So if we substitute our value, we see we have 140% of 70 equals 98. This section we have 80% of what is 62. 80% of what is 62. Okay. First we want to convert our percentage into a decimal number by we shift the decimal place 2 times to the left and we drop the percentage, and that gives us 0.8 or 0.8. Now 80% equals 0.8, so we got 0.8 here of x equals 62. Or that becomes 0.8 x equals 62. Now x becomes 62 divided by 0.8. Now that becomes, if you multiply, you don't want to have decimals in the division or in your fraction, so you want to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 10, because by multiplying by 10, we'll return 0.8 into a whole number. And it's easier to divide that way. So x becomes 620 over 8, which is going to give you the same result if you divide it by 62 by 0.8. It's the same as 620 by 8, divided by 8. So 620 divided by 8 is 77.5. 77.5. Now here, this is our answer. We're not converting this to a percent. Don't forget, we start off, we already know what our percentage is. We know that we're finding what 80% of what. Here, what simply means here X doesn't represent a percent, but only represents a number. So this here is our final answer. Because we plug in our answer, we substitute our value for X. We're going to get 80% times 77.5 is 62. So that's 80% of 77.5 is 62. Now we want to try 80% of what is 80. Of what is 80? Now that means 80% of, that signifies multiplication. 80% of what is 80? So what is the unknown, or X? 80%, we convert a number into a percent by shifting the decimal point twice to the left and dropping the percent sign. So here we get 0.8. So 80% as a decimal, that's 0.8. 0.8 times X equals 80. Or that's 0.8x. 0.8x equals 80. So here we get 80 over 0.8. But we don't want to divide by any decimals. So we're going to multiply both the top and the bottom by 10, which is like multiplying by 1. Multiply both the top and the bottom by 10. Multiplying both the top and the bottom of our fraction by both by 10, that's like multiplying by 1, so it does not change the number. So it gives us 800 over 8. 800 over 8. And that's equal to 100. So we have our X is 100. Or 80% of 100 is 80. Or we say 0.8 times 100 is 80. We say 80% of 100 is 80. Here we have a question. We want to apply our knowledge of what we know about percentage. We have a question: how many pounds of zinc are there in 50 pounds of an alloy if the alloy is 30% zinc. So we say how many pounds of zinc are there in 50 pounds of an alloy. So